You know the irony of things? He's in Niger, chairing some waffle conference.
He doesn't care. He does not care.
You know,
you go and bring these buses. You want to kill people.
It's good you said that.
Would your wife sit in that bus? Look, Dr. Randiabe, Mark Ado, Prosper Ado, every single member who sits on that ESCO, I'm asking you a simple. When you go to
your family sits in
and
that
you are
bus?
looking at the ceiling and you are counting the ceiling in your room, will you put your wife and your children
In those buses.
in those buses? If yes, you my job. But if no,
It's okay.
you are my job.
You see, it's good he brought up the buses because that's what I wanted to do. Why is the GFA buying buses for clubs?
Oh, boss.
Like, let's actually talk about the standards of Ghana football as a whole. Why? No. Because for me,
Makes no sense.
you say,
And
and
you go to Inshwin, and you go and buy used bus. You want to come and lie.
and you know, we've had this discussion before that where are the standards in Ghana football? Why
I
does the
will
GFA
tweet
have
the document after the program. Everybody go to my Twitter page. I will expose these people once and for all. I'll put this document on my Twitter page.
So why does the GFA have to buy buses? If you can't be transporting your players to and from, why are you in the league?
Why do you have a club?
Why do you have a club? Seriously. And we have to be serious up. And we keep saying this that our league is not doing well. It's because we don't have standards.
Nope.
No
we
standard.
We have to be honest. If you can't even get a bus to transport
Boots. They need to give them boots sometimes. Sometimes they say they need to distribute
And
balls.
Yeah, footballs. Yeah.
if it is, you know who you distribute balls to? Under 12. That's who you distribute. And we're talking about professional clubs. You need to
professional
distribute
People
balls,
who earn salaries.
balls and boots. Oh, come on. Let's be honest. If we don't have any standards for our league here, that's why when we have to go and play the other teams in Africa who have standards, they beat us. And that's why I came back to that. These are local players. It's not that they don't have talent too. They're definitely talented players.
Yeah.
It's not about talent because, and how do we know these players have talent? I always say this. Look at what Ghanaians do when they are born in other countries. Look at the type of football they play. Look at someone like Jerome Boateng. Born in another country, became one of the best centre backs in the world. That's his Ghanaian genes. It's not from anywhere else. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not like we have a problem being able to have quality football players. It's just that when you are born in this country, being born in this country,
soil.
being born in this country, frankly, if you want to be a footballer, they've cursed you.
Yeah, but I've said it.
They've
The
kept-
soil. Where you
You
the
see-
soil
Like you're
you
saying,
find yourself
like
in,
you're saying,
the soil.
as at now, we are top 5 among the highest exporting countries in terms of footballers.
yeah.
If we had structure, we'd easily be number 1. I have no doubt.
You
in my
know,
mind.
even we
With
don't
the
even
right
need to be
amount
number
of
1 if
money
we had
coming in.
structure.
we'd be
Other
selling players
people-
for more value.
Not even that, other players from around, Togolese, Beninese players,
They'll come and play.
Ivorian, they want to play in our league.
Yep.
But back to the standards thing. These clubs don't have standards, which means that they're not able to even do a good job of their players around them. This is why we had this discussion, and I said the Ghana Premier League players are not good enough. And it's not about talent. It's not a talent discussion we are having. It's a quality discussion. You are not. What training facilities do you have? If you need balls and boots, what kind of training facilities do you have? What kind of coaching education are the people you are hiring to coach these players? The courses. Coach has spoken about going to these courses, and some of the people they don't know what they are doing.
Oh no.
And this-
There was a time where, no disrespect to them, but shout out to Togbi Afede and House of Folk, they've improved their facilities. I think 2 years ago, their players needed to do recovery after a game, muscle recovery. And instead of having your
Ice
cryotherapy chamber, your cryotherapy chamber or ice bath, they were in the Veronica buckets with ice block. And they had to, I mean, you can't do this.
But you see what I'm saying?
You can't do this.
All of these little things are why maybe if you are 16 years old and you could have been the next Lionel Messi, these little things
It will pass you by.
They are chipping away at your development. By the time you are 18, a lot of things have passed you by. And that's why our teams are not doing well. And that's why the Ghana Premier League is all about standards. We have to be strict. I always say this. In life, you have to have standards. In your personal relationships, in your work life, in everything. So if we have standards, we hold these clubs to these standards. You don't have, your stadium doesn't have certain things. You won't play in your stadium. You won't play in your stadium. And we'll be fining you.
In fact,
We'll be fining you for every game you don't play in
this
your
matter you
stadium.
are talking about is the fundamental reason wrong with our football. The club licensing board and the upholding of standards. Club licensing board, they establish like a criteria every season. Ask Abeku. Every season they bend their own criteria to let people in. In fact, I insist that if they enforce all the like the criteria, there will be no league in this country.
And that's
I
exactly
believe
what
that-
should happen.
Good. If
It's only Hearts and Kotoko who will play,
that's
and they will play.
so
They'll
be
play
it.
38 games.
If
Who
it, is,
watch.
if it is a top 4, that will happen if we enforce the standards not to play top 4. That's what we should do.
No, sir, and that's my point.
That's
We
what
have
should
to be strict with these standards. If your stadium is not up to scratch, every game you play away will fine you. As that money is going, you fix your stadium.
You will.
If your training facilities are not up to a certain standard, you won't play. Do you know you can't play in the Champions League or any European competition if you don't have an academy?
Imagine.
This is what UEFA. So every team that's playing Europe has an academy.
And most of the time, their junior teams are even playing simultaneously.
Yes,
the youth league,
because
the
that's
Champions
exactly
League,
why you need an academy. Because if you are playing the Champions League, there's an under 19 Champions League that they are playing. So when AC Milan play Real Madrid, AC Milan under 19,
Yes,
Real Madrid
yeah,
under
yeah,
will
Real Madrid,
play
yeah.
the
The day
day in
before.
the
Hours
afternoon
before,
before.
yeah.
We had curtain raisers those days.
Yep.
When there's a top flight game in the league, every Premier League game, it is preceded by a curtain raiser. Normally, the juvenile teams of the teams come together and play. And someone like me those days, those were the games I really enjoyed watching than the actual game itself.
Hearts of Oak will tell you how many players have graduated from
From
Auroras
Auroras.
to make it into their.
Of course, Ishmael is by far, arguably,
The most successful
the most
Auroras graduate.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because he contributed immensely to giving Hearts of Oak what they had never
Yeah.
experienced.
Please learn from me.
That's
Let
my
me
point.
take more
We have to be strict with these standards. We can't say, because of the integrity of the league, if that team doesn't meet their standards, make them last, relegate them. That's it. Simple.
It shouldn't even exist.
Do you
In
get
the
what I'm
first
saying?
place, if
If-
you don't have certain things, you can't form a football team.
How many teams do we have in Scotland? The Scottish, how many
They
teams?
play 12 teams.
They play themselves over and over like two or three
Four
or four
times. It's
times.
four times. Do you even want? Do you
And
even
then
know what
they
they do?
declare
You know
champion and they go and play.
Do you know what they do? They play 3 times, and then at the end of the season, they split themselves in half. The
They
top
play
6
like
will
playoffs.
play each other, and the bottom 6 will play each other to make it 38. They have a way they kind of
You can
organize
make it work.
and things.
But you have a league where when somebody has a boardroom issue and nobody can solve it, he has cronies and friends, and so we say, okay, the league is 18, but because we can't solve the matter, we'll expand the league
Dreams
to 20 teams
FC
and accommodate our
Dreams
friends. What kind of
FC
league is
and
this?
RTU. That game last
Oh,
season.
goodness me.
Jesus Christ.
And,
Keto-Kreku.
in fact, in standards, let's talk
What?
about conflict of interest. If you're in certain positions, you cannot own a football club. Let's just
It's as simple as that. Is why
because
the
you-
government look. Maybe we can pardon you, but whoever wins this election, His Excellency the Vice President, His Excellency the former President, is between the two of you. One person will win, one person will lose. Whoever wins, if you stay allow the statement football people, that rubbish statement should come to an end. That statement should come
Football
to an end.
people.
Football people, my foot.